The principle of the creation of Adam and Eve. Looking into Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, as it reads, "And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." It is written in the parable that God created Adam. The meaning of forming man of the dust of the ground is that it is when making the origin of the flesh and breathing into his nostrils is as written as Zechariah chapter 12, verse 1. God created the spirit of man, and becoming a living soul is the man Adam became a living spirit by the power given by God to man to have a good heart. That is, he became holy one that he can live for good. In other words, it means since he could live the will of God, so he could directly communicate with God. As described, in this world there are the people of all that live as a sinner. But then God among the sinners chose the one that he can live the will of him who is good. It is the work of the creation of Adam that Adam, however, committed a sin. And reading Genesis chapter 2, verse 21 to 23, it is written as, "And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof, and the rib, which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. This is the word which is a parable that, the work of the creation of the woman Eve." Herein, one has to understand in the first place of what the rib is meant for. Reading Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 5, God said to the bones, and Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 11. It reads, "These bones are the whole house of Israel," in the account of this word. It is not saying a real bone of a man, but man was compared to the bone. Therefore, the meaning that God made a woman with the rib that God had taken from Adam is that he had chosen the one among the descendants of Adam and made a woman, that is, the servant of the Lord. Because as God brought the woman the servant of the Lord to Adam, and Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh," which meant that's an offspring of Adam. Because when a man begets a child, one fathers a child as the sperm, which is the bone of the bones, and the flesh of the flesh enters into the mother's body, and the meaning of the rib meant sexual organs of a man, and of causing a deep sleep to fall upon. Adam meant begetting a child of a man. It's done when sleeping. Hereby, about Adam, who was meant his anonymous name, the father of the head, anonymous name of the tabernacle church, and the woman meant anonymous name, youth servant, the head of the tabernacle church, and the man called a serpent who beguiled the woman. The servant of the Lord is Mr. the uncle on the mother's side of. So as the serpent seduced the woman, the servant of the Lord, and made her commit a sin, and the woman sinned, and as the woman seduced Adam, and made him commit a sin, and Adam sinned, they were driven out to the east of the Garden of Eden, and became the cherubim and watchmen to keep the way of the tree of life. When reading through Proverbs chapter 7, verse 7 to the end, it clearly depicts a scene that a young man was seduced by the adulteress, the serpent. That's all about it.
Subscribe and like.
Thank you for your listening so far.